All right, it is Monday. It is December 7th. Time is flying here. Market closed minus 148. Dow Jones, S&P minus 716. NASDAQ plus 5571. Small caps plus 113. VIX 2130 was up 2.45%. Commodities gold was up 1868. 28.95. Silver 24.72. Crude was minus 1.21%, 45.70. All right, so let's look at the markets today. Look into the market, the small caps and the top gainers mainly. You got to really focus on that. If you can really capitalize on small gainers, you know, you can kill it because the moves are great. All right, OBLN 101.87%. Why is it moving? Analyzing the upward movement of OBLN Therapeutics. Doesn't really say on FinBiz. I'm not looking deep into it if there was news or not. But so let's look at the 3-minute. Yeah, this opened Friday, had the push up. Excuse me. Said the push up. See this 175 on Friday? So there was already a signal. It was like halfway up the screen, middle, came all the way back down. And you're riding this line, this 1320 EMA. The 20 EMA is over to 13. And then right here, you see touchdown as low as 138. But this 150 was a jumbled line. Then look at this. This candle right here, 2.1 million. And it's really broke up. And once you have this break up to 175, then it came down a little bit. See, this came down to maybe the 164, came down, came back up, and then it took off. And there's a shooting star. That is a sell signal, top of a pattern. Now on this, you're looking for this. See this move? It's like this tried here. See that push up? That was a sign it was trying to push up, but it couldn't. Then it came back down. Once you see this open here, I'm gonna get it a 5-minute. Once this breaks above that big candle, and look at this candle in the 5-minute. That is an inside candle, sort of spinning top, maybe spinning hammer. Not really a hammer, but in the middle, spinning top, I guess. So, and then what do you have here? Look at this. The whole way, the 20 and 13 was crossing down, now it's crossing up. So your 175 line is huge. And where do you want to support here? I mean, you can play it, the 1320 EMA, or you can play that 150 line. So you're playing lines here. And like I said, the 1320 EMA are important. They're like a lagging indicator. As the price moves, this is going to move with it. But any move that's really substantial move and it keeps going, this is going to be, you know, a nice crossover here. See this? This is going to prove that it's going out and it's crossing out, and it's going to be a strong, you know, long at that point. And it might not last long. You don't know. It could be, you know, a slower move like that. This is more of a straight up move. So when you see this here, and then see this starting to cross very slowly, that's great support here and here. So 175, 275 could take your profit, maybe 3. This is a great long. So right here, that is your sell signal. And right here, see this move up? And there it is. This is, I mean, you could play this to another line too. You can play it to 2 line. If you see it going up like this, it's momentum, you just keep your stops. Where do you want to keep it? Keep it in between too. But, you know, there's your sell signal. And as soon as this big candle, see this? It didn't do nothing. It was trying here. That's it. That's a sign right there. It wants to try to push up, but they pushed it down. It wasn't ready yet. And we got the 150. Now look at this candle. That is a big candle. That is a meaningful candle there. And then you have a move up again. Now, when you're playing this, like I said, it depends. Some of these penny stocks, you know, they'll put in, I'm trying to see here, like wicks. This doesn't really have maybe like that, like a wick down really hard. And if you're here, I might stop you out at that 150 line. So you just don't know exactly where they're going to bring it. They could bring it down here, and then it'll shoot up. But this started to wrap, and there was a little signal right there, and then we went up. You know, you go to the 10-minute, You see the 10-minute right here. You see this breaking above and this candle too. Once this gets above, and this is a 175 line. Look how this touches here too. Touches the 1320 EMA right there. So again, see how this wraps up? I mean, it's so important on moves up. When you see that, when you see this hit it and bounce off, that's a great sign of, you know, support resistance. So that's why I do like the 1320 EMA. It's not the be all end all. If you don't use it, I mean, you don't need to use it, but it works in my plans. How, you know, I trade, and when you see the moves up, see this is below the whole time below, and then eventually it breaks up, and look where we cross. So this is, you know, it's an indicator, it's a lagging indicator. As this moves, if this is moving, you know, depending on which way. So the break up, and look at it go. I mean, it's a strong long right here. Let me get some water. That's a strong long. And, you know, that's why every chart is a different chart. I mean, it might be similar charts, but when this broke up, that's a big sign. When you break up with a big candle like that, that's a great sign for a long. This is 6.8 million, 6.18 million in float, 213 million in volume today. And it's just straight up rocket. Now, it could have did this. It could have came back a little bit, you know, rolled up slowly, but you don't know how they're going to move it. This is a straight up rocket move. And this has in the past, it has spiked. This is, you know, one of the biggest volumes you'll see. So in this, you can put this as an inside candle, big move up, green bar. There's your inside candle, and then a takeoff. So if you see that pattern, it's a very strong momentum pattern. It might not last long. Like this lasted, you know, maybe an hour. We'll see 10 to 10:35. So a half hour. It's not long at all. On this, depends how you play it. And this, the most I would have played is probably 1,200 shares. And then as this went up, that's $1,200 right there, maybe a little bit more. So it's a very impressive move. That's why I'm studying all these moves. I'm studying this now, breaking down pretty much small caps, 1 to 10, 1 to 20. There's the other stocks, the other type of moves. You know, they're pretty much easy to read when it's a $20, $30 stock or not the small cap. They're going to move different. These you have to narrow down and really, once you focus on these over and over, you'll get the moves. And see Friday, like I said, this was high, middle, low. This is middle, so where did it go? Either it's going to break up, pre-market here, or go back down here, and it went down. But it just didn't, you know, keep going and fading. That's where, you know, there was still hope for this, and it went back up. Even if it went here, came up and went up to here, yeah, that's just still a pretty big move there, over a dollar move. So move came here, and then a bounce up. So that's what you look for. When you have this, you just draw a line. And the line's really the 20 EMA. You don't even have to draw a line. The line's already there for you. Then you cross up, and there it goes. And then after that, you're going to get a lot of chop, unless the pattern's pretty strong. See, this came down, bounce, bounce. But it's choppy. It's not a great pattern there. So that's OBLN. Noro after hours is moving. KODK. You know, it's had to move. It's just Monday. It's today, 4:05 a.m. So, was it 4:05? Yeah, 4:05 a.m. Look at this. Moved up. Double top right there. Almost here, too. Couldn't break above. And then it faded, then it came up a little bit. So this is a choppy pattern. See, the move was very high. Came back. This didn't fade here like this. It sort of did a sideways move, but it couldn't move from that because it already moved pretty far. So that's more of a high move, I will call it. GMDA. This isn't bad. Right here, you have to move to 8. See the move to 8 right here? And then if you got in there, you could have been stopped out. If you're playing that line, it didn't come back all the way though. So if you really played it true, you wouldn't have been out. And then you saw it come up again here. This is an ascending triangle right here. And it broke out 8 to 950, and then another triangle right here, and then broke out again. A little bit of tougher move, but back and forth, little zigzag up and down, and this turned into a really good long, but didn't have great volume. 155,000. See on the 10-minute. Three minutes, see this came down, came back up. 3 minute will give you, extra candles there, so it's not bad to go down to. ONCT moved up to 3. Draw your line right here, went to 350 and came up. See, this move was pre-market to move. It wrapped underneath it right there and then took off to 375. So not a bad move pre-market. It didn't have about 600,000 in volume. It's not bad. It took off. So it's not a bad long. Pre-market though. Try to avoid as much as possible. GTEC. Here's a big move up, almost at the top here. There's another one, came back down, but didn't fade all the way, then broke up again. We're getting a lot of that almost 10 area, 10 a.m., and then breaking up a little bit. So then once this get over right here, but see this, it went to a 856. I would have missed it because I only play 5 cents, 855. So KBNT, move up 650, 725, and move back to 9. There's fate. This is one big candle, then up. It came back, then came back up. This is a higher price stock. Stitch Fix. I remember I called this stock when it was, where was it at? I think it was August right here when it came back here, or yeah, I think so. When it came out of this, I drew a line at 25. This went to like 48. Incredible. This is too choppy. EH. You want to look at 2 good charts. You'll be able to recognize once you see charts and they're over and over. I get distracted. Sorry. Once you see charts over and over, and you can see the patterns. Like you see how this. Look how this started early. 13 over 28. Look how smooth this is. And it's like the whole way up. It didn't really go through, so it's already riding that from pre-market. Had a move here, bounced. 1450, great move, F pattern. Another here, F pattern over 1510, F15. Look how this, see this? 13 is smoothly like rounded up right underneath that. Underneath the like 1484 area. And then it's took off again. And then there's your sell signal again. Look at that. That is a low cross or, well, it's not a true cross is very thin in the middle. So this is a, I guess a shooting star, you could call it. And it came all the way down, and there it was. So you don't know when you get in here. Like I said, you're getting in low, middle, there's high. You want to try to get at least from the middle below, and it'll take off. You don't know where it's going to take it off, though. You don't know how far it's going to go. You can see in the daily chart if there's lines. See, this was there anything? This is crushed everything. It hasn't been around that long, this stock. But again, this is a very easy chart to read, at least how you're playing it. Nothing works 100% of the time. But if you go over 1450 right here, where's your stop? You're going to use 14. You could use 1425, about right here, 1420. If you put in a line here and you're buying here, see it, you're very close to that line. It's a very tight lines there. Look at these candles. They can blow through that very easy. So 1450, you want to keep it a bigger space. That way too, use lower size. If you lose lower size, it comes down here. You can even let it come down here and just see what it does. It might bounce from that. And then you're not completely stopped out. So this is 1450. This is look at what's that? 350 gain, $3.50 gain. Yeah, that's great. That's easily $1,000. In a 3-minute, 1450, 15. See that in a 3-minute, 10-minute. And everything from the 3 to 10-minute, 3-minute, of course, you're going to get more candles. The 5-minute, less, and 10-minute, even less. So 10-minute puts in a big candle here. And look at the next line here. That's beautiful right at 1450. Another one. And you're sideways. So some charts look even better, the way it's set up. PLG, 350. Here is LAZR, which continues. This has been on a tear. Look at this. Went down to 30. And see this again. Look at this. See this loop here. It's below the 1320 EMA. And it starts to loop up right here. Let me put this in here. About 31 right here. Look at this. Right there when you see it. See, it's tough. I don't want to trade the open or right before the open. That's the toughest part. I mean, still take your chance there. Chart's a chart, but very volatile right at the open. Most volatility. Then you draw your line here. This broke above in 38 all the way to 43 on the 5-minute. See here, 31, 35, there's a hammer. So down here is your aim. Once you see this start to roll here, see this little loop, this little U shape, there's your in. CIIC. Just moved all the way up and came back to 29 line. See, and look where it's coming up. The good old 13 EMA, and then comes back, goes sideways. Let's look at the 10-minute. Comes up. 31, then we get a 36, so not a bad long. VLDR. Remember talking about this out of the wedge? Here's a falling wedge. Sideways, up, little fake out, came back. Look at the volume increase though. So this is another one too. Very flat. See, it's low. Look at all the space up here. Very low. Coming up high. 1550. Got the 16. Look where it came back to. 1555. Then once you see this too, you're playing that break here. High day break. Don't be afraid to play on breakouts because a lot of times they do fail. But when you see this coming up here, you've got 1550 support. Just play it. Because that's what you're doing. That's the whole thing. You're buying low on the dip or the breakout, line to line. You can put in your line here, 1575, too tight, at least for me. You can put it in there, but 16 came back and rolled up. Then it really faded hard. So it was a very good long. In the 10-minute, it came back strong, but here's your moving averages. Let's see what else we got here. AEY. ENG, pretty straight up move here. What else we have? PLTR, Plantar Technologies. This had the big run up from 10 to 32. There's your hollow candle, red, and came back from that strong. And here's another thing too. Like everything connects in these charts a lot. Like everything makes sense for the most part. Here's today's open, this green little line I have, and look at this. Touched here, came back, and look at this. Breaks right over that, right at the open. 25, hammer, keeps going. There's a 10-minute. Here's a 3 minute. So you're playing here. Once you see that, you play that 25 line or 24.50 line. The low here is 24.51. Play that low line. I mean, you can play. If it doesn't hit, doesn't hit. And then you get in your next line, see what this does. And then see this coming up. There's your support. Experienced traders know that 25 line is important. The 5 minute. 5 minute, you have 24.50. 25.50. See it hammered down, kept going. So it's a really good long. Going down on the list pretty far here. There's some really good gainers. Space. Look at this thing. Took off. See the rounding, the low getting higher, higher. Came back down November. It really exploded up. Just came back hard from that 30.50 line, then went to 29.50 line, and straight takeoff. And that's the thing. If you can catch one of these down here, there's no reason to sell. You're like, oh, I'm going to sell here. Just wait. Wait for the confirmation to sell. BCRX exploding. So dry. CMV. What is 12.25? That's why the 13 over the 20, that's why I use both. I like to see the first line, the second line, and see what it does from that. So here's AQB too. This one came down. Came back up. And then there's today's open. Look how it bounced off that. It's very nice here. Yeah, 875 line. You see it, then you see this starting to wrap. You got to notice the subtleties there if you're watching this. And then it goes up and takes off. So it's kind of a weird chart pattern here. Then it came back up. That 850 line was huge. All right, so that's good for today. So yeah, some really good longs today. Longs have been pretty hot lately, as far as, you know, getting an hour, a few hours in, and you're getting good opportunities to make profit on that. And there's good old OBLN right there. What's their news? I'm still looking here. Still don't really see nothing. All right. Look at the SPY. Yeah, the SPY is just way up here. Look at this overbought. It's just continuously overbought. There's the monthly, weekly. Looks like it's getting straight. Now it might eventually start to turn here. There's the 4 hour. See that we're going sideways. 2 hours sort of coming down. We'll see if we drop from here now. If we get a final drop here, we'll see. And like I said, remember UVXY? See this divergence? You see this starting to come up very slowly starting to come up. We sort of flattened here. We flattened at 11. You know, if we get any strong move, you can see here, look at this. We'll go right to about 16. There's the VIX. See the VIX too? Look at the divergence. Stock market's going up, but the VIX is starting to creep up now. Something is up here. 4 hour, 2 hour. So it's holding that 20 level. You know, see where the big move March, bounce, big move, bounce, bounce. I would suspect another move here, maybe the 30 in that range here. So that's for that. All right, that's it for today. So You know, if you're looking at the market, it looks like volatility might creep up here. It looks like it's slowly, something's up here. Like we're getting that sideways move now. Divergence is happening, and we'll see if this starts to move now. Small caps are still hot. $2, 13, 17. A lot of higher price stocks too. But good gainers all the way down the left side, like what's it, top 30? That gives a 19% gainer. So plenty to trade. And yeah, focus on whatever you're trading, whatever chart, just look at the chart where you're at. Look what it's doing. See if it makes sense. Where your 13 EMA starting to come up. You know, where it's at on the chart. And this, like, draw your line here. Once it's broke above that line, that's a great time to break out. All right, that's it. Please subscribe and like the channel. And we are out for now. Peace.